Conflicts, a chance to heal. In this lesson, we're going to recognize that conflicts, disagreements, arise out of disconnection. Whether it's a disconnection in understanding of one another, or empathy, or differences in opinions and values or needs. But it's also a great reminder that something is not working out. And it's a chance to address it and to do it in a way that brings about curiosity, a wish and a desire to understand one another, the needs, the meanings, the values we have about such and such things. And disagreements in couples or in any healthy relationship really is pretty normal because there is two people. If you have just one person, there's usually not disagreement. It's just you and your ideas and your beliefs and the way you want to go out and do things, and you just go and do it. But with two people, there's a little bit more complexity here. And if you're one of those couples, you tell me, hey Diane, we never have an argument. We never have conflicts. We never yell at each other. I'm going to say to you, okay, you don't yell at each other, that's great. That's great that you can express each other's opinions in a way that doesn't require a very loud voice or throwing things at each other. But if you tell me we never disagree, I'm going to be a bit puzzled, because I may wonder whether you're staying at the surface level of thing. You know, you're dealing with organizing the family household and just doing the day-to-day mundane things, the shopping, but are you going deep into knowing one another? And if you're in this program, you are probably looking to tap into more connection, tap into more love, and being able to express and receive it at a much deeper level. So no disagreements at all. You may not be expressing your true voice, and you may not know how to. So we'll talk about this in the next section. So spoiler alert, conflicts is not about finding out who is right and who's wrong, who is mature and who is immature. It's not about saying he is the one who needs to change, I don't need to change, I've done enough. It's not about that. The way to handle a conflict in a way that's going to bring more closeness for each other is to look at it with curiosity and a wish to understand your partner at a deeper level. Okay, so I have a little workbook here for this section, and it's got an exercise called what is your partner's cry for connection? Because if there is something that he or she is upset with, that annoys him or her, or saddens him or her about us or about the relationship or the marriage in general, it probably means that there is a need that's not being met, or there is a sharing of meaning that is not understood between each other. The purpose of any conflict is really to deepen the connection. And you may not do the handling of the conflict in the heat of the moment if both of you have very high intensity of emotions and your mind is simply not functioning very well. That might not be the best time to resolve the conflict, but once you both have had a chance to calm down and you're able to sit down together or walk together and revisit the disconnection, the conflict, you're in a better place to truly go and investigate what things meant for your partner, what things meant for you. And human beings are literally hardwired neurologically to connect with one another, to feel like they belong and to feel loved. There's plenty of research that states that this is our gift. You know, this is what makes human beings so special. This need for belonging and connection is so deep. So let's look at the first exercise and the first questions here. What is your partner's cry for connection? And the first question is, what bothers, annoys, upsets, angers, saddens my partner about me or about our relationship? Take a minute to think about an example, maybe a recurring example or something that happened recently that caused a conflict. Okay. The next section is, what are the needs behind it? You know, your partner nagged, complained, threw a tantrum, or went to hide and did not deal with the situation at all. What do you think the need is behind the conflict, or his or her reaction to the conflict? Could it be that the need was a need for appreciation? What got you guys disconnected is that he was really needing appreciation from you, and I guess he didn't hear or feel it coming from you. Or was it a need for excitement and passion? Or was it a need for peace and serenity and harmony? Was it a need for self-expression? Or was it a need to feel in control of a situation? Think about it. And the last question, it's not really a question, but it's a section where you're going to write down a short and brave note in the same way that we talked about in a previous module on communication to connect. It's a short and brave note that's going to explain what you believe the feelings of your partner were at the time of the disagreement or the conflict, and the needs behind it. So I wrote down a little passage here. Let's say the situation is this: you go to work and you come back home late on a regular basis. You're doing your best, like, hey, but I had this deadline and I had this colleague who asked me this and that, and so again I arrived late, I'm sorry. And over time, maybe it's really bothering your partner because, he or she is at home and prepared the food, and you said you would be there on time this time, and once again, you were not there. And you're saying, but hey, it's not my fault. I've got all these commitments and all these responsibilities, and people are asking me this and that. I didn't have enough time to finish all the things I was supposed to do. So it's a recurring issue for you. Let's take an example like that, and you would write a short note using the NVC method, the nonviolent communication method. It could go like this: honey, the other day when I arrived late, and it sounded to me like you were feeling upset and sad because I said that I would be on time for dinner last night, and I was 15 minutes late, and it sounds to me like you have a need for reliability and for quality time within our family. Did I understand you? Okay, you extending, you're trying to put yourself in your partner's shoes once again, and you're trying to assess whether your understanding of your partner is accurate or not, because people really, really, really want to be understood. Yes, you're getting me. Yes, this is exactly how I felt. Or actually, no, I was not feeling upset with you. I was feeling puzzled, or I was feeling surprised, or I was feeling let down. Whatever it was, your partner has a chance to then correct you and be like, okay, this is how I perceive things from my from my vantage point here. And that just doing this creates the connection. It's not about whether you're going to change something or not, whether you're able to change something or not. It's about really connecting with your partner. And the second part of the exercise is, what is your cry for connection? The questions are similar here. Is what bothers, annoys, upsets, angers, saddens me about my partner and about our relationship? Take a moment to write it down. And next question is, what are the needs behind it? Feel free to refer back to the list of needs from nonviolence communication that you have in the previous modules to help you out here. And same thing here, you're going to write a short and brave note where you get to express what's going on here for you. So in this case, maybe you were annoyed that your partner made a comment about you being late again when you've been rushing and doing your very best to arrive at home on time for dinner. And maybe you were feeling overwhelmed, and maybe you were feeling criticized, and maybe you were feeling like you let him down once again. And the need behind it could have been that you needed some understanding. Maybe you needed a hug. Maybe you needed to be able to vent out for a minute or two before being able to move on to have dinner with your partner. Think about it and write it down. So what you can do, if you and your partner are in this place where you can talk about this, you can tell him or her, hey, remember last night we had this disagreement and there was all this disconnection between us, and instead of having a pleasant evening, we did not. And let me share with you what went on inside of me, so you understand the place I was coming from here. And if your partner is not receptive quite yet to this kind of deeper conversation, that's okay. You can reach out to a friend, a trusted friend or a trusted family member, and you can practice reading your note, okay? Because if you're not used to expressing yourself from this deeper place, it's challenging. It's not an easy thing to do. So practice, and start by addressing maybe the easiest complaints that you have, the easiest conflicts that happen between each other. So then you can move on to the more challenging and the difficult ones that still will need to be addressed at some point. So here you go. Think about your conflicts, your disagreements, the differences between you as a chance to connect at a deeper level. Don't stay at the surface level of things. I mean, sometimes it helps to not deal into the conflict. But if you're going to handle a difference in opinion or a conflict of any kind, do it using the nonviolent communication way of doing things, and think of your partner's cry for connection, and also think of your own challenges as a cry for connection with him or her. I will see you on the next video.